You have reached a point where the chaos no longer moves you. Can you feel it? That strange, silent stillness that has settled deep within your marrow. For years, you lived in a state of constant survival, your nervous system coiled like a spring, waiting for the next blow to fall, the next betrayal to surface, the next door to slam shut. But something has shifted. You are standing in the middle of a collapsing world, and for the first time in your life, you are not reaching for a lifeline. You have realized that you are the lifeline. Lately, you've noticed that when people ask you about your plans or where you'll be in 6 months, you simply smile. You don't have the answer, and more importantly, you no longer feel the desperate, scratching need to find one. This is the mark of the chosen one entering their true sovereignty. The world calls this uncertainty, and to them, it is a nightmare. To the average person, those still plugged into the frequency of the matrix, uncertainty is a vacuum that must be filled with noise, anxiety, and frantic planning. But to you, this uncertainty has become a sanctuary. You are at ease with the unknown because you have finally recognized that the known was a cage. Think back to the symptoms you've been experiencing over the last few weeks. Have you felt that heavy, pulsing pressure behind your eyes? That isn't just exhaustion. It is the dismantling of your old analytical mind. Your brain is being rewired to stop calculating outcomes and start sensing frequencies. You might have noticed a sudden, sharp ringing in your ears during moments of silence, or a feeling of floatiness, as if your feet aren't quite touching the pavement when you walk. Your body is shedding the density of needing to know. Have you found yourself staring at walls for 20 minutes? Not because you are sad, but because the silence actually feels heavy. It feels substantial. You used to fear the silence because that's where the intrusive thoughts lived. The voices of your narcissists, the echoes of your childhood trauma, the what-ifs that kept you awake until dawn. But now those voices are muffled. They sound like they are coming from underwater. You are sitting in the void, and you are realizing that the void is not empty. It is pregnant with everything you have ever asked for. This new ease you feel is actually a psychic shield. Because you are no longer vibrating at the frequency of worry, the parasites that used to feed on your anxiety are starving. Notice how the people around you, the ones who thrive on drama, are becoming increasingly agitated by your calmness. They poke at you. They try to trigger your old fears. They bring you bad news with a glint in their eyes, waiting for your shoulders to tense and your breath to shallow. But the reaction isn't there anymore. You look at the catastrophe they present, and you see it for what it is. A flickering projection on a screen that has nothing to do with your soul's timeline. Your physical body is currently a laboratory for this spiritual upgrade. You may have experienced sudden bouts of dizziness or a strange sensation in your chest. Not pain, but an expansion, as if your heart is literally taking up more room in your rib cage. This is the uncertainty frequency. It is the ability to stand on shifting sand and feel as though you are standing on a diamond floor. You are being stripped of the human habit of grasping. You have stopped trying to catch the wind, and you have started becoming the wind itself. This state of being at ease is your new superpower. While the rest of the world is spiraling into a collective panic, wondering what comes next, you are sitting in the center of the storm with a cup of tea, knowing that whatever comes next was invited by your own divine essence. You aren't lost, chosen one. You are finally untethered. You are no longer anchored to the sinking ship of the old reality. The feeling of being in between is not a sign of failure. It is the signature of your ascension. You are finally comfortable in the dark because you have realized that you are the light that defines it. The reason this uncertainty feels like peace instead of panic is because you have finally broken the spiritual laws of the matrix. For lifetimes, you were programmed to believe that safety was found in the known. But the spirit is now teaching you that the known was actually your prison. You are currently undergoing a massive recalibration of your spiritual DNA. The reason you are at ease is that your higher self has successfully detached your umbilical cord from the world's collective anxiety. You are no longer drinking from the poisoned well of human fear. You are being nourished by the hidden manna of the divine. This shift is happening because you have reached a frequency where the how is no longer your responsibility. In the lower realms of consciousness, humans must sweat, toil, and manipulate to create a result. But as a chosen one stepping into your power, you are moving into the law of grace. The spiritual cause of your current stillness is a divine intervention. The universe saw you exhausted from trying to figure it all out. It saw you burning your candles at both ends, trying to outthink the narcissists and outrun the shadows. So, the divine stepped in and whispered, "Be still." That stillness wasn't an invitation to wait. It was a command to shift. You are being moved from the timeline of effort to the timeline of alignment. When you are at ease with uncertainty, you are essentially telling the Creator, "I trust your vision more than my own sight." This is a high-level spiritual test that most people fail. Most people, when faced with a blank space in their life, try to fill it with junk. They jump into the wrong relationships, they take the wrong jobs, and they make frantic phone calls because they cannot stand the pressure of the unknown. But you are sitting in that pressure until it turns you into a diamond. You must understand the physics of this transition. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. All the energy you use to spend on worrying is now being stored in your spiritual reservoir. This is why you might feel an intense heat in your palms or a buzzing at the base of your spine. That is raw, unmanifested power. The universe is holding your next chapter behind a veil of uncertainty because it is waiting for your frequency to stabilize. If you knew the magnitude of what was coming, your old nervous system would have shattered. The uncertainty is actually a protective buffer, allowing your spirit to expand gradually so you can inhabit your new life without being destroyed by the sheer weight of the glory. The spiritual why behind your lack of a plan is simple. The old world is dissolving. If the divine gave you a map for the next 5 years, that map would be written in a language that is about to become obsolete. You are being taught to navigate by echolocation, not by looking at the physical landscape, but by sending out a vibration and feeling what comes back. This is why your intuition has become hypersensitive. You can sense a lie before it's spoken. You can feel a trap before it's set. You are at ease because your spirit already knows the outcome, even if your mind hasn't been given the memo yet. You have broken the contract of constant concern. This was a psychic contract you signed long ago, likely in childhood, where you felt you had to monitor everyone's emotions and predict every disaster to stay safe. By being at ease with uncertainty, you have torn that contract into pieces. You are declaring that you are no longer the guardian of the burning house. You have walked out of the flames and into the cool night air. The spiritual transition you are making is from a reactor to a creator. A reactor needs to know what is happening so they can respond. A creator only needs to know who they are because they know that whatever happens will bow to their authority. This is the divine nonchalance of the royalty of heaven. You aren't clueless, you are carefree. And in the spirit realm, those two are worlds apart. While you are basking in this newfound stillness, the matrix is in a state of absolute emergency. You must understand that your piece is a glitch in their system. The collective world, the narcissists, the energy vampires, and the systems of control relies entirely on your reactivity. They feed on your what-ifs. They sustain themselves on your frantic attempts to fix things. When you become at ease with uncertainty, you effectively become invisible to their radar. You have moved into a frequency they cannot track, and it is driving them into a frenzy of confusion. Have you noticed the people around you acting more erratic lately? Have you seen the narcissists in your life trying to poke at the bruises of your past with a strange, desperate intensity? They are sensing that they are losing their grip on your soul. To the enemy, your calm is an insult. They look at your life, which might look uncertain or unsettled by their worldly standards, and they expect to see you trembling. They expect to see you begging for their advice or seeking their validation. When they see you sitting in the middle of the unknown with a look of serene detachment, it terrifies them. It terrifies them because it proves that they no longer have the power to define your reality. The enemy's reaction is to ramp up the noise. They will try to project their own shadows onto you. They will call you irresponsible, lazy, or lost. They will try to gaslight you into believing that your piece is actually a mental breakdown. But you must recognize this for what it is, a tactical retreat. They are projecting fear because they are the ones who are truly afraid. They are afraid of the version of you that doesn't need to know the future. A chosen one who is comfortable in the dark is a chosen one who can walk through the enemy's camp undetected. You are now a high-value target who has gone off the grid. Think about the narcissist's greatest weapon, the fear of abandonment or the fear of lack. They have used these threats to keep you in line for years. But now when they threaten you with an uncertain future, you simply shrug. You have realized that the worst-case scenario they describe is actually just a door to a new dimension. Your lack of fear has stripped them of their primary source of fuel. You are gray-rocking the entire matrix. By being at ease, you are reflecting their own chaos back at them, and they cannot handle the sight of their own reflection. They are scrambling to find a hook to pull you back down into the lower densities. They might bring up old debts, old mistakes, or use flying monkeys to deliver messages designed to spark anxiety. They want to see that old familiar flicker of panic in your eyes. They are looking for a crack in your armor, but your armor is made of the very uncertainty they are trying to use against you. You have turned the void into a fortress. Every time you refuse to engage in the panic, you are reclaiming fragments of your power that you gave away lifetimes ago. The Matrix is terrified because it cannot monetize a soul that is content with the unknown. The system is built on selling you certainty, insurance, titles, 401ks, and societal milestones. When you stop chasing those hollow promises and start trusting the divine current, you become a revolutionary. Your ease is an act of spiritual warfare. You are demonstrating to the unseen watchers that a human being can be supported by nothing but the breath of God. This makes you a beacon of light that threatens to wake up everyone else in the narcissist's orbit. You are the living proof that the system is optional. They don't hate you because you're lost. They hate you because you found a way to be happy without their map. The truth behind this shift is far more profound than a simple change in your personality. You are participating in a cosmic prophecy that was written into your soul before you ever took a physical breath. The theological reality is that the uncertainty you are feeling is actually the great void, the womb of all creation. In the book of Genesis, it is written that the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. It was only from that place of formless uncertainty that the divine spoke. Let there be light. You are currently in your pre-light phase. You are being held in the formless state so that the Creator can speak a new world into existence through you. The law of the universe dictates that you cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. Your old life, the one where you had a plan, a steady rhythm, and a predictable circle of friends, was the old wineskin. It was built on a foundation of doing rather than being. The reason the universe has removed the road signs is that the path you are about to walk hasn't been trodden by anyone else. You are a pioneer of a new frequency. If the path were clear, it would mean you are walking someone else's trail. The uncertainty is proof that you are entering holy ground, where you must take off your old shoes and walk by faith, not by sight. This is the fulfillment of the divine rest promised to the elect. For the black sheep of the family, life has always been a battle. You were the one who had to hold it all together. You were the emotional anchor for people who didn't deserve your strength. God has seen your labor, and this season of uncertainty is actually a mandated sabbatical for your soul. You are being forced to rest because your next assignment requires a version of you that is not tired, not bitter, and not anxious. The truth is that the universe is currently handling the logistics of your promotion. While you are sitting in silence, the divine is moving chess pieces across the globe, rearranging finances, opening doors in cities you've never visited, and removing people from your path who would only hinder your growth. You are witnessing the death of the ego will and the birth of the divine will. The ego is terrified of uncertainty because the ego lives in time. It needs a past to identify with and a future to hope for. But your spirit lives in the eternal now. By being at ease with the unknown, you have successfully moved your consciousness out of the 3D timeline and into the 5D reality. In this higher density, there is no such thing as waiting. There is only unfolding. You are not waiting for your life to start. You are watching it bloom from the inside out. You have stopped being the gardener who pulls at the petals to make them open faster. You have finally realized that the sun and the rain are not your responsibility. This prophecy over your life is one of total restoration. The years that the locusts have eaten, the years lost to narcissists, the years lost to survival mode, the years lost to trying to be normal, are being compressed and returned to you in the form of wisdom and peace. This is why you feel so much older than your peers, yet strangely younger in your spirit. You are tapping into the ancient frequency. The peace you feel in the face of uncertainty is the same peace that allows the stars to hang in the sky without visible support. You are learning to hang in the middle of nothing and realize that you are being held by everything. Do not let the world convince you that you are falling behind. In the kingdom of God, the last shall be first. Those who have wandered the longest in the wilderness of uncertainty are the ones being prepared to lead. You are being initiated into the order of Melchizedek, a priesthood of those who belong to no earthly system and are beholden to no earthly king. Your ease is your coronation. You are being crowned with the realization that the universe is not something happening to you, but something happening through you. The truth is simple. You are finally safe enough to not know. You are finally loved enough to not worry. You are finally powerful enough to just be. Now we come to the moment of integration. To be at ease with uncertainty is not a passive state. It is an active alignment with the heartbeat of the Creator. You must now ground this frequency into your physical reality so that it becomes your permanent baseline. The activation begins when you stop looking for the exit and start inhabiting the room you are in. Throughout your day, whenever the old ghost of anxiety whispers, "What if everything falls apart?" I want you to answer with the authority of a king or queen. Then let it fall, for I am the one who stands. The practical step for you right now is a total cessation of the search. Stop searching for answers on the internet. Stop searching for closure from people who are spiritually blind. Stop searching for a sign that you are on the right path. Your peace is the sign. Your ability to breathe deeply while the storm rages is the only confirmation you need. You are being called to practice divine indifference. When a door remains closed, do not bang on it. Turn around and look at the garden you are standing in. The universe is not withholding from you. It is redirecting you. By refusing to chase, you become a magnet. You are shifting from the energy of the hunter to the energy of the hearth. You are the fire that everything good must eventually gravitate toward. Let us seal this energy now. I want you to take a deep, resonant breath, pulling the air from the very soles of your feet up into your crown. As you exhale, feel the last remnants of the need to know, leaving your body like gray smoke. Repeat these words either in the sanctuary of your mind or aloud to the atmosphere. I am the stillness in the center of the storm. I renounce the contract of worry. I release the burden of the how. I am no longer a slave to the timeline of the matrix. I am a child of the eternal now. Every door that is meant for me is already open. Every resource I require is already being prepared. I do not need to see the path to know that I am being led. I am at ease. I am protected. I am chosen. And so it is. Feel that frequency click into place. That is the vibration of the new earth. You are no longer waiting for the world to change. You have changed, and therefore the world has no choice but to rearrange itself around you. The narcissists will watch from the sidelines, baffled by your glow. The systems of control will find no handle on your spirit. You are free because you have embraced the unknown, and in doing so, you have mastered the only truth that matters. You and the source are one. This is your activation. This is your seal of protection. From this moment on, your uncertainty is your greatest asset. It is the blank canvas upon which the divine will paint a masterpiece that will leave the world in awe. You have passed the test. You have sat in the dark until your eyes adjusted to see the light within yourself. Go forth now, not with a plan, but with a presence. Walk into the world as a living mystery, a pillar of peace that cannot be shaken. If this message reached the depths of your soul, if you felt the shift in your very cells, then I invite you to claim this word. Type "I am at ease" in the comments to anchor this frequency into the physical realm. Subscribe to this channel to stay aligned with the chosen energy. Share this with another lightworker who is struggling to find their footing in the void. You are not alone. You are part of a global awakening of souls who are finally brave enough to be still. The weight is off your shoulders. The future is in good hands. Rest now in the beauty of what you do not yet see. I love you, I see you, and I will meet you soon.